Hold on. Go.
Welcome to the show.
Yay!
Hi!
It's a podcast.
It is.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome to As for the Rest of Us. It is me, your supple, young, Nubian host, Justin, and also
Shaad Schubert. Not an attorney at law or of anything. Just out of coffee.
you're out of coffee?
Yeah.
We should have got you a drink before we start the
Well, I've got
podcast.
water,
Oh, okay.
but I mean,
As long as you're hydrated. This is a very draining process for them.
and nobody wants to hear that.
Are you sure? People watch ASMR all the time.
What's that?
Automated system. I'm gonna just look it up.
What is it again?
ASMR. I don't remember what it actually stands for.
ASMR.
I can't think of it off the top of my head at all. Autonomous sensory meridian response.
I don't know.
So it's like whenever people do this, it's basically like whenever you get like those, like you hear something or you have like some, like somebody's playing with your hair or something to that effect, and you get that weird fuzzy feeling like in the back of your head and neck, and you're just like, everything's perfectly fine.
Okay.
That's what ASMR is. And people make videos.
Is one of those fucking noises?
Is trigger for people.
No.
Like listen to like NPR whenever people are like really quiet on the radio and they're just like, hello. Welcome to NPR. My name is Justin Harris. So whenever that happens,
Yeah.
that's like a trigger.
Is it
That's a
sexual?
trigger for some people. No, some people might be, but some people it's just something that's just soothing
Just
and
like,
relaxing. It's like whenever you have like you're in like a place where you're getting like a massage,
Okay.
or you're getting like acupuncture done or something to that effect, and they play those like the music
Those
that's supposed to like
noises.
resonate with you
Sure,
and stuff
yeah.
like that. And sometimes you'll have like in the music you'll have the people that are like calm, soothing ocean. You know what I mean?
They're
Stuff
trying
like
to
that.
tell you what it is.
Yeah, it's just similar to that. Some people find it relaxing. Some people don't.
The white
lip
noise type
smacky
thing.
thing is just comes with it whenever they're so close to a microphone that's sensitive. So I guess people maybe they're just used to it. I don't know.
But there's just straight up just like...
Sometimes. There's also people that do like tapping, like on things.
Is a thing?
There's just all kind of everybody has their own like trigger for it that makes
I
them
don't want to
feel
piss anybody
happy.
off on first episode, but that's fucked up. It's weird.
It is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That just sounds like an accident that somebody ran into, but like, I kind of like that.
There's like YouTube channels, like tons of YouTube channels where it's like such an insanely popular thing, and they get millions of hits. Like these people make living like tapping the back of a brush.
Why are we doing a podcast?
Because we're not making a living. We're doing it for
yeah.
funsies and for people.
But like, we could.
I mean,
Be.
if that's what this turns into, is an independent ASMR venture, and people want to hear our voices really quiet,
Yeah,
and
I mean,
us tapping on the back of like your guitar.
yeah,
then
I
that's
don't want to
fine.
hear my voice loud, so I'm not sure if anybody wants to hear it at all.
So we should probably tell the people like how this whole thing kind of came about, anyways, as far as like an idea goes.
Okay.
Go ahead. All right, so we started off. Well, we still are a band. We've been in playing music together. We're cousins. We've been playing music together since 2006.
Is that what it was?
I think.
See,
I want to say I was coming close
Four.
to the 4
I think 4.
when I was finishing high school. I didn't think we had a band after I finished high school.
When do you I consider us
I thought
when we started playing music is when we wrote Anus Face.
Okay, so that was when I was. That was when I was in high school. I consider it music whenever we made like Improvato and Radium Skies and had Me, You, and Bo and McKinney.
I got you.
Because that was in 2006, maybe
Sure.
2005, late
Maybe that,
2005.
Yeah. I'm
Point-
going back to Anus Face.
Point is, we wrote Anus Face. was a huge success. It was huge. You probably heard about it, seen it all over the news.
It was
Bigly.
Yeah. It was a hit.
So the
After
podcast wasn't a thing until probably like a week ago. We didn't really even think about it as a thing. We've just been writing music and putting it out there for everybody. As you can see above, if you're looking at the video version of this, there is a link to our SoundCloud. We are on SoundCloud. We do also have a YouTube that has a bunch of songs that we have written. But yeah, like a week ago, I just thought up, because I've been on a podcast for about a year now, a little over a year, the Geek Grab Bag podcast, and I just thought, we spend the majority of, or not the majority of, but a big chunk of our time, we're going to have a practice, and we're going to get ready so we can play out, places and everything, and then it gets to the point to where we're like, all right, we haven't seen each other in over a week. What have you been watching? What have you been doing? So instead of just sitting here and doing that across the room from one another while we're playing music, we just record it live and put it out there, because I find our conversations and shit that we say generally entertaining.
Titillating.
To myself. Titillating, if you will.
Yeah.
And I will.
Yeah.
So that's, in a nutshell, how As For The Rest of Us started. And As For The Rest of Us is also the name of the band, but I feel personally like it's a good fit for As For The Rest of Us, as in we're the nerdy outcasts in society.
Yeah. We call ourselves the Wallflowers, but that was already taken.
Yeah. So. And we would have called the podcast Geek Grab Bag, but that was already taken.
Yeah. Fuckers.
Assholes. So you have brought some news.
I have. Yeah. Not a lot and nothing titillating. I'm going to start this off with, are you familiar with Con Man? Have you heard of this?
Like a person?
No, not like that.
Okay.
Yeah. The Alan Tudyk of Firefly fame, and of I know Alan Tudyk from A Knight's Tale, the Heath Ledger movie, because
I know of him from other movies as well.
That's more of my
Con Man.
That's more of my go-to than
that's a show.
Firefly. Yeah. So Con
it's in
Man
season 2.
Has put out 2 seasons. It's like a web series. But it's through this Comic-Con HQ is the
oh God. That'll come through real
one
good.
Man. It's through the Comic-Con HQ, which is just specifically a web I don't know, like Hulu or Netflix, but
just
way
for Comic-Con.
smaller. It's more directed towards comic nerdy type stuff. And,
Laugh a minute.
And so it is essentially the fake version of Alan Tudyk's life after Firefly. His character on here, which is, I think his name is Alan. I think he's just Alan Tudyk.
Oh, it's even got
Nathan
Fillion and Felicia and Sean Austin. That's cool.
Yeah. So no, his name's
Seth
not
Green.
Alan on here. I can't remember what his name is. But
James Gunn.
Yes.
It's a lot of people in here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's awesome.
Nolan North
it is really funny. It's 15-minute episodes. There's 10 episodes per season, 2 seasons. I'd say check it out because I
love that his character for the show is at the very bottom of the list almost. You have everybody else up here,
yes.
And then it's just oh yeah, I'm also in this too.
So Ray Nearly, his character,
Milo.
it's not Alan. He's Ray Nearly, and he's the exact same. He was a pilot on a 1-season TV show, sci-fi TV show that got canceled. It's going through his life after the one-hit wonder that was kind of got all this backdoor fandom and whatnot, and so it's super funny. I laughed a lot by myself in a room while I was folding laundry and shit, and you get Comic-Con HQ for a week for free, and just pop on there, get your week for free, and
So what else do they have besides Con Man on?
they have a
Comic-Con
show
HQ?
that
I would think that they would have a link to. Well, maybe this is it.
Maybe just click on it.
There it is. Watch on Comic-Con HQ.
So there's a show that Mark Hamill does, which is identical to. Did you watch that show with Kevin Smith and Mark Guggenheim? Not Guggenheim.
What?
Greg Grumberg. What was it called on AMC? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It was the. It has geek in the name. I'm almost positive.
Geeking Out.
Geeking Out. Yeah.
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 So
I've seen
it's essentially Geeking Out, but with him and a puppet.
it. Really?
Yeah, and they go and
Look at him fingering.
he's serious about it. But if you've got
And two of the guys from.
I don't know them.
They're both on Supernatural.
Oh, are they?
Yep.
They go to cons, I think, and do like a show, but I haven't.
They've got King of Cons. It looks like.
Yeah, that's what they're called.
That's cool.
That's what they're. So Con Man's hilarious. It's just funny, real quick watch of 15-minute episodes. If you end up keeping the membership, it's like $5 a month, so it's a little bit cheaper, but you don't get nearly as much content. But you can totally knock out Con Man in like no time. It's like 10-minute or 15-minute episodes, 10 episodes, 20 episodes.
Sure.
5 hours.
Yeah.
I don't know. So 5 hours and you get a week for free. Knock it out. Don't renew. It's recommended highly. I giggled a lot. It was a giggler.
So Shaad has done the best pleasure of finding pretty much all the news, because most of my news that I did find was, for the vast majority of it, was gaming related, because there's a lot of leaks because E3 is about to happen in a month.
Word.
So there is stuff that's in there that you might be interested in anyways,
Like what?
that I can talk about.
Jack and Daxter?
Not that I've seen yet. There was something that I just seen. It says Kingdom Hearts 3 Road to E3 2017. So if that's a thing that we see, and next month I will probably shit my pants.
They lowered the pre-sale price on Amazon because it's been like set like hardcore at like 60.
Really?
And they lowered it down to 50 for some reason right now. And Kingdom Hearts 2.8's 40.
2.8 is?
2.8's 40 right now.
I think that would be only $10 off. Because it's normally 50. I think it doesn't have a $60 sale price like most games.
No, I don't think so.
So some of the other stuff that came through from E3, the Far Cry series, they announced that it could be taking place in the West. It's definitely been announced that it was going to take place in Montana, so obviously the West, but they don't know if it's like Old West or if it's like New West, like in the same vein of like Justified.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That
What's
TV show.
Far Cry? Let's start from the beginning.
Okay. So Far Cry is a first-person shooter, but
Primal. There's one called Primal.
there is, and
Okay.
Primal is so the whole concept of Far Cry is it's a first-person shooter, but it's an open-world sandbox game.
Okay.
Kind of like how you see like Horizon Zero Dawn isn't a first-person shooter; it's a third-person action game set in that kind of a thing.
It's like the new Zelda.
Yes, that's a sandbox game.
Okay.
So you
Got it.
have this huge open world that you can go out and explore, but this is in like a
Or
first-person
Lego
shooter
City
sense.
Undercover.
Yeah. or Grand Theft Auto, which
yeah.
Lego City Undercover is the Grand Theft Auto of
For
Lego
kid
games.
Yeah, absolutely.
So just imagine that kind of a thing, but with a first-person shooter. There's like
I lowered.
there's systems that allow you to upgrade by like in Primal and Far Cry 3 and 4.
Okay.
You can like skin animals that you find, because some of them take place in like in the jungle, or the other ones in like the Himalayas.
Okay.
So you'll find animals and stuff like that, and you have to collect certain animal skins or plant parts or parts of trees and stuff. So you can make like I made a new satchel for me to have more ammo and stuff like that. So it has that kind of a mechanic to it. And it has like a big, huge story with a bunch of side quests that you can do, just like most of the other open world games. It has one main quest, but there's a bunch of other side quests. So it's like a first person shooter in that kind of an environment.
Yeah.
So that's what they're saying with Far Cry 5. The new Assassin's Creed they revealed that it should be taking place somewhere like in ancient Egypt, and I guess they're calling it Origins. So I don't know if they're like as a slight reboot to the series, or if they're just going to be like, and because in the Assassin's Creed games, you're playing as a character in the future. I don't know if you've played Assassin's Creed. So you're playing as a character in the future, and the character in the future goes inside. It gets booted into this machine called the Animus, and that basically reflects back to his past, and his whole family's lineage is assassins, like from former assassins, and he relives those points in time and will assassinate specific people, and he's basically doing what his ancestor was doing, but he's the one that's experiencing it in modern day. So what they're saying potentially with Origins is that this is going to be like, we're not even going to worry about the Animus or any of this stuff anymore. We're just going to strictly focus on the assassin in his time period. Anymore. We're not doing the whole time. Like you're actually going to be the assassin in ancient Egypt. You're not going to have to worry about jumping back and forth.
Yeah,
that was kind of the big thing. Let's skip like the Microsoft has their Project Scorpio, which is the name of their new console. Like that's
Xbox.
It's a new Xbox, but it's called Project Scorpio. It doesn't have a definitive name yet. We're supposed to get it before the end of the year.
Oh, really?
A whole new one. It's more powerful than the PlayStation Pro. It'll be the most powerful console.
Most powerful console.
It's the most powerful console you've ever seen. I absolutely guarantee. But we're supposed to get its full name, price, the actual definitive release date, and I would assume they'll probably show gameplay of something running on it.
And the E3 is
that's the
Chicago?
It's in LA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Was it ever in Chicago?
Maybe a long time ago.
What's in Chicago? C2E2?
I don't know what C2E2 is.
I don't know either, but it popped into my head. Is there a thing that happens?
That's just a really not well-known droid from the Star Wars series. He was not canon in any way, shape, or form. I don't know.
Keep going. I'll find it.
Nintendo is going to finally announce, I would hope anyway, their online and their virtual console for... Did you find it?
Fuck yeah, I did.
What is it?
It's the Chicago Comic and Entertainment Expo, C2E2.
Oh, well, I've never even heard of it.
2 C's, 2 E's.
2 C's, 2 E's.
Yeah. I don't know when it is or why it happens, but I know, I think Kevin Smith's gone there before.
That's cool.
And that happens to be something I, follow. Anyways.
So Nintendo will have, hopefully, an announcement of, like, more online, how that'll function as far as, like, talking to other people, doing chat, things of that nature. Maybe a virtual console announcement, hopefully, because that would open up their game market so much more.
Sure,
people want to play the old games anyways, and to be able to have the old games with you on the go on a console like that is just going to be huge.
Be killer. You play your favorite Nintendo games, your SNESs and your NESs. And
well, they said that now that since the NES Classic has been completely, it's done production-wise, that they're rumored...
Which is real weird, right?
I know. My thought was, and this is what I said on a podcast a few weeks ago, was it would be really cool.
Podcast?
I'm sorry!
Cheating on me!
They said that, I said to them, I was like, they could honestly... just market the NES Classic Console Collection, those 30 games, in just a disc and sell it for $60 by itself and put it on the Switch and just have it as a cartridge that you could buy or just download it.
Because it's already everything's already formatted for new digital technology.
There's no reason to not do something like that.
Yeah.
But the other rumor is that they should be announcing that they're going to do the SNES Classic for this fall. So we'll have to see how that goes. Red Dead Redemption 2 gameplay and footage and the release date. Okay. Potentially new Super Smash Bros. They've been kind of teasing that. And they've also been teasing, for the first time, a full Pokemon tile that will be on the Switch and the 3DS.
Somebody shit their pants on that one.
So that would be like... Landon, would he shit his pants?
Maybe. I don't know.
Okay, I gotta get a Switch now. So like how they did with Smash on Wii U, they had the Smash Brothers. It was basically the same game on the 3DS, just with the lower resolution, but you could still do the multiplayer and everything too. And then they had the full version that was on there. They're kind of thinking that it'll be something similar to that. But I don't understand why they wouldn't just do it one way or the other. Like, make a Switch-specific ones. They wouldn't have to focus on making the exact same game dumbed down for the 3DS.
Well, yeah.
Because both ways you're going to take it with you to go. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a potential.
And you're going to sell more Switches if you make a Switch-specific game. I mean, they even did that with, what was it, Super Mario? They did a new Super Mario Brothers 2 that was for the Game Boy only, wasn't there?
Well, they had their own. The 3DS had the new Super Mario Bros. And new Super Mario Bros. 2, and both of those were similar in the way that the ones on the Wii and the Wii U, respectively, played. But each one had its own. I mean, they all have the same story. You're
a little bit.
Rescuing the princess. You're gonna do whatever. You get specific power ups and things. Like, I remember New Super Mario Bros. 2 on 3DS. Was like very coin heavy. Like, there was actually like stuff that you could buy. There was like a coin power up that you could get, and each game had its own power up and everything too. So they were 4 completely different games, as similar as they all were. Yeah.
Well, they did that with Mario Kart too. Wasn't there a Mario Kart that was specifically for the 3DS?
Yeah, and that's the stuff that I really like about the new Mario Kart that came out on Switch for the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Was it took some of those mechanics from that, like I don't think you can do the direct play where you can play the game without having the actual physical cartridge, but they do have the wireless play, so you don't have to be on the internet if you're in the vicinity of somebody else that has a Switch. You can just play the games without having, like, they pick up and sense each other.
Sure.
And then you can just play with basically like a local Wi-Fi signal that comes from the Switch to Switch.
Okay.
Versus coming from, being on the same Wi-Fi network and shit like that. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff, which is pretty cool because you could do essentially 4-player, not have to split screen on one tiny Switch screen. Just do the 2 split screen off of the one, and each person have their Joy-Con controller, and then the other 2 people doing the same thing on the other one and doing 4-player that way.
I got you.
So it just opens up and I think you can connect up to like 8 Switches at once. So effectively in that game you could do up to 16 players, which they have so many different characters that you can choose from in this one too. I likes you.
Have you watched American Gods at all? Have you been involved in American Gods in any shape or form?
I know it's a book by Neil.
It is by Neil, yeah.
Me and Mandy actually have been talking about it recently because she has known about it. She really follows Neil more than I do.
Oh, Neil.
Mr. Neil.
Mr. O'Neill.
Mr. O'Neill. She files. How do you say it? Is it Gaiman?
Gaiman's how I say it, but I don't know.
I don't know. Whichever. We'll say Gaiman for the podcast. So
for the other podcast, it's Gaiman.
Yeah, it is. And then for when I'm by myself, I just say no. So she follows a lot of his stuff. She likes the Sandman. I haven't read Sandman myself personally. I
have them all.
Which is, shitty saying that I love comic books and I've never read Sandman because I felt like it was kind of like, this is like a definitive comic book. It's like if you're reading something that's really well known and popular from the 90s, I think of like Sandman series and probably Watchmen.
Watchmen was in the 80s though.
Was it? I thought it came out in the 90s. Oh, well.
But we also discussed last week that I haven't seen Back to the Future.
That is true.
So, I mean, I haven't seen Back to the Future. You haven't read Watchmen. I've only read the first 2 volumes of Watchmen.
So did you read American Gods at all?
Oh, that's what I was going to say. I forgot.
I haven't read it. I've seen the show. I've not watched it, but I've seen the ads for it and stuff. Yeah, and I want to see it really bad.
We're in like American God, like crazy land now. This, because we've got the TV show going. It's airing on Starz. They started the comic book adaptation right around the same time, which I thought was kind of a weird thing to do both of those at the exact same time. But they did it. And then the book came out years ago. But I started to read the book a couple years ago, and what you'll find out about me is that I read slow. I'm a slow reader. So I started a book a couple years ago, and I haven't gotten much further than like maybe page 60. It's a good book. Good book. Neil's a good writer. As we call
That's what
it.
I've heard, and I know the overarching like kind of concept of how it's like actual like old gods.
It's old gods, yeah.
And then there's the new gods or something like that are from
and there's some
concepts like that, because there's like a media, a god of the media, a god of just radio and stuff like that. There's just there's like a god for like everything that we all
currently
kind of
worship.
See and currently worship of today's culture, and how that kind of is an overarching thing.
Yeah, I don't understand it quite yet because, like I said, I don't know how to read very fast, and but I do. I've also bought the comic books that I haven't read either, so I have a lot of potential for reading and watching, but I haven't done any. And I was just curious if you if you've been in any part of it either.
No, I read. Whenever me and Mandy started talking about it, and we knew that the show was a thing, I was reading up on just like the characters in general, like not all of them, but just kind of like who you follow.
Sure.
Because like I knew like this Shadow Moon and his wife are like the two main like characters that they kind of center around.
Sure.
That each of these people that you see here are all, I think, gods. They just don't explain what gods they are. They just go by different names, like. Ian McCain's god is supposed to be or is like a god or something to that effect. They call him Mr. Wednesday, but he's like
as far as I've gotten, like he's one of the main dudes. But maybe I will keep you in the loop on this shit, and
cool.
I'll try to follow up, and we'll keep a discussion on American Gods as it's airing.
I was gonna say I heard that it was pretty decent as far as the show goes itself. I've not heard anything bad as far as like reviews or anything goes. It was all pretty standard. I think for Starz, it's a good series to have.
Well, I don't know
really
what
think
Starz
that have
normally has.
any other.
I mean,
is Starz the people that had at one point in time Spartacus? Is it Starz?
I think
I was gonna say I thought that it was Spartacus by chance. The Fifth Wave.
Is that a TV show?
I thought that was a movie. I mean, these might just be movies that are on there.
The White Princess.
The Good Dinosaur series. There we go. Let's do that. So American Gods.
White Queen. I've heard that name. Oh, Power. I don't know what that means,
the
but
White Queen.
When I was
White Princess.
When I was in New York City,
there's a lot of white things in here.
White things and non-white people on some of it. So
Black Sails.
Oh, okay. I've heard of that name.
Ash vs. Evil Dead is Stars. I don't know why I thought it was Cinemax for some reason, like a Cinemax original, but it is.
Cinemax has Outcast, though.
Yes.
The Robert Kirkman.
Yes, that's it. I was going to say,
TV show.
I knew it had something else, but I couldn't remember. But no, we watched the first 2 full seasons of Ash vs. Evil Dead. If you guys haven't seen any of that stuff, it's really good.
I have not.
It's really funny if you like Evil Dead, anyways. I mean,
so here's another ball buster right here.
Bust my balls, boy.
I haven't seen anything past Evil Dead.
Past Evil Dead? Like the original?
Yeah, I saw the first one.
You didn't watch 2?
No.
So 2 is really it. 1 was initially meant to be like a horror movie.
It was scary.
2 is, I mean, it's campy, but
yeah,
I mean,
sure,
it's meant to be scary. 2 is meant to have some scares and stuff to it too, but that's where it started to kind of get like goofy, and it became just a cult classic.
And that's where people kind of latched on.
Obviously, Ash versus the Army of Darkness, or it's just mostly known as Army of Darkness, which is basically Evil Dead 3, is basically just a straight up like comedy.
Okay.
They were just like, okay, we're gonna just fuck the scary shit. It's gonna be funny as hell from now on.
And I remember you being into it, but I don't.
Yeah. I love those movies.
On my radar.
They're so like campy and everything. It's just really good. And Bruce Campbell is a great actor and plays that part perfectly. Like I could never imagine somebody else trying to do that. And then the Evil Dead movie that was like the reboot one was really good. It's legitimately really good as a horror movie. Like it's really scary. Yeah. And then now they have Ash vs. Evil Dead, which just kind of falls in the same vein between like Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness. It's very campy and it's meant to be kind of funny.
Okay.
And they do it on purpose, but it's very well produced. The monsters look really good and everything in it too. And there's so many callbacks to the old movies too. Cool. So there's a lot of just like you'll go back to the cabin eventually in the show, and there's all kinds of just different things, other characters that you get reintroduced to. Obviously, old quotes and sayings and shit that he says.
Did you watch that Stand Against Evil that was on IFC?
I've seen trailers for it, but I never watched it.
I was wondering how close.
The dude from
Scrubs.
Scrubs. Yeah.
I was wondering how close to just ripping off Evil Dead that it was, because it's kind of, especially the Ash versus Evil Dead TV show.
It was to a certain extent, but it's just people can do that kind of show and make it their own and kind of come up. I mean, they have a completely different lore set than what this is. Like I said, whenever you have Ash versus Evil Dead, it's following kind of closely to lore that's been established since the 80s.
That's true.
And
characters
that are well known.
That's
true. True.
Repeating myself over and over again.
You're a real repeater.
Oh, my Peter. I did start really playing Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. So I tell you I beat the first one.
Yes.
For those of you not familiar, I'm playing the new re-release of Kingdom Hearts 1.5 and 2.5
most of them aren't familiar
remakes.
since this is the first episode.
But they could be.
They could be.
Yeah.
It could be somebody you know.
They could. Hi.
But if it's not somebody that you know, he's been playing Kingdom Hearts.
I just bought a PlayStation. I don't game, or I hadn't gamed, and he does a lot. So I was just refamiliarizing myself really to play Kingdom Hearts. That was it.
So I've started going through it. A lot of other newer games and stuff have been coming out, so I haven't got back to it yet.
Sure.
As far as Chain of Memory goes, I played it when it was on Game Boy Advance, but I never played the re-release. That was like the 3D version that was on PS2.
I didn't realize that happened, I guess.
So I've seen it. I've always seen it. I remember walking past it at Walmart whenever PS2 was still like a huge thing and seeing that there and being like, man, I would love to just grab it because I liked the Chain of Memories that was on there with cards and stuff. But I knew that it was more like Kingdom Hearts 1 at that point than it was for whenever it was on the Game Boy Advance. So I never actually went back and played it. So I know that this is a remaster of a remaster.
It's a remaster.
Well, I guess technically it's like 3 times now because they
did a re-release on PS3.
On the PS3's 1.5 has it in there too.
That's right.
So they remastered the remaster game, and then they remastered that remaster again for PS3, and now they've remastered it once more to make it optimized for the PlayStation 4 at 60 frames and
it's great.
Everything. Yeah.
I started it and I hated it. I was about ready to quit it. I guess I'm not a big card player.
Yeah.
I try, but I got into it last night and I just got in it and I like it now.
That's cool.
I don't love it, but I like it. I guess there's a strategy.
Did you play 2 all the way through?
No, I've never played 2. I
At
haven't
all?
even touched 2.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm working my way through chronologically.
I mean, the story was already kind of like fucked to begin with.
Like weird?
Yes.
Or it didn't make sense?
No, I mean it's just a weird story.
Okay.
It makes sense to me. I mean, especially after the first game. It makes sense what they're trying to achieve and what they're trying to tell you. And they convey it enough between all the different characters. Like whenever Leon's telling you the story as it kind of unfolds in the early game.
In Chain of Memories or in 2 or
in 1? In
okay.
1. Like kind of the story, has it as it leads up to 2.
Is there a story on it? Because aren't they just looking for Mickey and Riku?
They are now. I
But
mean,
what were
I
they
just
doing
meant
before?
I just meant like
They're piecing
actual
the worlds together.
Yeah, and then
kind of
trying to combat the Heartless and what the darkness actually is, and Ansem. But I mean, as it goes along,
Ansem was good at first, right?
Yes,
He was just an explorer.
yes, and then Ansem. This is where it gets into Kingdom Hearts 2 and how it kind of
Don't spoil it for me.
well, it bleeds into. There's not just the Heartless and the people that have a heart. So there's a whole person. There's a version. There's a version of Sora.
Yeah.
And then Sora.
That's right.
Becomes a Heartless at one point in time in the game.
Yes.
So whenever you lose your heart, and even if you get it back, and it talks about it in Kingdom Hearts 2.
Okay.
There's a thing called a nobody, and that's basically a shell of a person that has no heart. They have no. It's just that's a nobody. If I'm not explaining it right, and there's a Kingdom Hearts fan watching, I'm sorry.
Please tell me.
Don't scream at the screen.
What is the
But that essentially means that there's like basically at that point in time there's 3 versions of Sora. There's Sora as is. There's Heartless Sora whenever he becomes a Heartless, and then there's a nobody version of Sora. And the same thing kind of happens to Ansem. There's a good version of Ansem. Then there's like the Heartless version of Ansem, which you see in Kingdom Hearts 1, and then there's like a nobody version of Ansem.
Okay.
And it all spawned from like one created person, and then just things unfolded and it became that way. So there's like an inherently good version of Ansem out there that you eventually meet as well.
Oh, okay.
And then there's also a nobody version of Ansem too.
Okay.
And that happens with characters that like if they become Heartless and you see them again, then there's a good chance that there's like a nobody of them too.
Pieces of them.
Yeah. So it's basically if you can keep it in your head that there's like, oh, this person's kind of like this person, and it's just like, yeah, that's because that person is literally become fragmented into 3 different people.
Yeah, I got
so it really just kind of if as long as you can keep up with that, then you're good to go. But it's just kind of hard to do.
I think I can.
Yeah.
I'm like the little engine that could.
Mm-hmm.
Is that thing?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's
the Brave Toaster.
Little Brave Toaster.
Remember him?
I do like
him
a lot. He good.
He good.
But the yeah. So Chain of Memory seems like it's gonna be cool. I didn't have somebody to like tell me how to do things, so I finally figured stack my deck and shit, and so now I'm cruising right along and I feel good about it.
Stacking my deck.
Yeah, the end. So yeah, it was good. It's a good story. I'm enjoying that. I'll keep you posted. I don't play current games. I play old games that are re-released on the PlayStation. That's why I bought it. I'm like, oh, they made that game 10 years ago. And they re-released it on PlayStation, I'll take that.
There are once you get past that back catalog though, which there is a lot.
The back catalog?
The back.
Oh.
Not the back catalog. That's Batman's.
I do want to play those the
Arkhams.
Yeah, the Arkhams, which are re-release.
So that's what I meant. Like once you get past that back catalog of games that are either re-released and the back catalog of games that have been re-released and get past that. There are a lot of really good games that I think that you would legitimately enjoy on there. Like I'm playing through Horizon now, and I think that you would really like it.
Yeah.
Especially since you like the Tomb Raider game.
I do like the Tomb Raider game.
So I mean, if you like the way those are kind of formatted and stuff, I think that you'll like this.
Cool.
It's a much more open world, like because this is exploratory, like the new Zelda was, or like the Elder Scrolls games.
What was
like
the
Skyrim
word you
and
used?
stuff. Sandbox. That's what they call it.
Yeah.
Whenever the world's just so big and open that you can just kind of go do whatever you want to.
Which is ironic.
It was ironic.
That's what Onyx evolves into.
Ironics.
Ironics. It's ironic because a sandbox is boxed in.
What?
Somebody told me something
You
today
just blew
that
my goddamn mind.
I thought was funny, but I can't remember what it was. So we won't go into it. No. Somebody said, I think it's something about thinking outside of the box. He goes, my cat thinks out of the box sometimes, and I get shit on the floor. And I thought that was kind of funny.
It is. It's funny also to me because that does happen to me too. And
you shit on the floor.
I shit on the floor, outside of my cat's box. Yeah.
That sounds sexual.
Not her vagina.
No,
not
good.
that.
Good. Nobody wants that.
No, I don't want to shit on a vagina.
You want to know what my next topic is?
No.
Triscuits.
Oh.
How do they make them?
I don't know.
So I've been on a Triscuit kick. Really shredded wheat in whole in General Mills. But so Triscuits are, if you look at them, they're weaved together so well and perfect. Do you remember the Doozers?
No.
From Fraggle Rock.
No.
The little construction workers, and they make the clear plastic buildings in the tunnels, and then the Fraggles eat the buildings that the Doozers make.
The rocks? Do they eat rocks?
I think they eat rocks also, but they also eat the clear, like, it looks like Connect, but they're clear. and the Doozers make them.
I think I remember it now.
But they eat it all. But it's so intricate just for someone to eat, similar to Triscuits.
So they don't...
Shredded wheat.
Oh my god! Okay, so they don't have Triscuits.
Okay.
But this is shredded wheat.
Shredded wheat's fine.
I mean it's
not nearly
I just
as
meant like
intricate.
the way that the weaving is as you're explaining it.
But like that's just layered. Like it's just kind of like a sheet that maybe somebody cut and then they baked it. Triscuits are like a fucking basket, and it's amazing.
Do you think like that it's one guy that's just
weaving
just
wheat together
with like one of like a robot that like the ones they use for like really small microscopic surgeries,
Mm-hmm.
like whenever they like do sutures for your eyes and stuff like that?
Yeah.
You think it's just one of those that's just like he's just like weaving?
Yeah. No.
Or do you think it's like this, but it's just
No.
not as many layers?
Neither one. I think it's an old
Neither?
lady with needles crocheting.
From
fucking-
Back to the Future?
No, I don't know.
Needles from Back to the Future?
I haven't seen it.
I know. That's why I said it.
So yeah, Triscuits are amazing, and I just eat them as a snack all the time, plain, so just regular salted Triscuits.
So what else can you do with a Triscuit that's
can-
not plain?
You can do a lot, but I choose not to. With a Triscuit, you could.
Let's say like what's popular that people do with Triscuits?
That's
not because I don't eat Triscuits.
I don't really know. I don't know how popular
You're shaking
Triscuits
the
are.
shit out of these things really violent.
Because I really think that Triscuits are for old people.
Are they?
I don't know.
Mandy used to eat them.
She's an old people like me.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know what people do. I put pimento cheese on it not too long ago, but I also think that's what an old person would do.
They like get it out to the point to where this is like all it just looks like.
Looks like ramen.
It's what's getting ready to say. It's like it just looks like a really small ramen.
Which I would eat that.
You think that's how it gets?
I
like,
would put chicken flavoring on
but
that.
how do they make it look like it's like a tight weave then? Do they just like press it so hard that it just compresses it and it makes it look like it's a tight weave?
That looks like when I fold a towel. It's not like very pretty. It's just kind of in its shape, but it's just kind of
I mean, if
folded
this is your
around.
towel, I don't think it's your fault because I think it looks more like a rug. First off, than anything, it's like a close-up shot of a rug.
But
except for this,
like that's just kind of wiry and stringy.
Now I'm just hungry for those.
But Triscuits are the most perfectest. They're like a work of food art that they just put in a box and I just eat. And that's what I mean. Like the Doozers work so hard to make these buildings in Fraggle Rock.
How do you spell it?
Doozers, Doozers. They also had. Don't go to that.
Is
though.
this it?
No, that's a show that they had on Hulu. Go to Fraggle Rock. You gotta show them in their true form.
Is that what they looked like though?
Yeah, like,
I
see the
remember
buildings?
them. Yeah.
Yeah. So they would make those buildings, and the fucking Fraggles would just eat them.
They ate the building.
Yeah. That was but like the Doozers never got pissed about it. Like they were just like, that's our purpose. We make a building, and then Fraggles eat it. And that's what I feel about Triscuits. Triscuits are just Doozer buildings.
I feel like you can see them like all falling out of their mouths.
It doesn't actually.
Like,
well, they're
like,
puppets. They can't actually.
Well, I know. I understand. I'm just saying, like, whenever they're like stopping to eat and they're just chewing, like it clearly looks like a person with like a sock on their hand. They're just like, and they're just doing that to make it like crumble up and fall.
Maybe one day we'll do a puppet show.
You think?
We could.
For the viewers?
Could. Puppetry of the penis.
With strings.
Mm-hmm. Somebody said something about peeing on your balls. And,
Mine?
No. No. They called me up and they're like, Justin Harris. I'm like, yeah. They're like, I'm gonna pee on his balls. No. That didn't happen. No, they said peeing on your balls, and I said, I don't have that problem. And
who pees on their balls?
I think if you have like a real small winky.
They pee on their
really
balls?
big balls.
They can't like just pull it out a little bit more whenever they pee.
Maybe, but
That's just a huge problem. I would just sit down and piss if that was the case.
I think that was when he said it happened. Was when he went and he said he's sitting down and tucked it in, and then ended up peeing on his balls. But I thought that was weird.
That's kind of a real small penis thing.
And the only thing that's like Hitler with his micro penis.
I thought did he have a micro penis?
Some say.
I knew he had one ball. Yeah. I think that is actually like fact. Like he has one testicle, but I don't know about the micro penis.
I don't know.
I
heard it on the news.
There's a new game out called Sniper Elite 4. And in Sniper Elite, you can you're going through World War II, and it's hyper realistic. You actually have to wait for planes and shit to fly overhead before you fire your gun, so that way there's some overarching sound. So because there's no silencers back in 42 for your
they do that
big
for real?
Springfield. Yeah,
that's a real thing.
Mm-hmm. So they would
Did you say Rick Springfield?
No, I said Springfield. That's a type of sniper rifle.
You down.
That's not the right guy anyways.
No.
His name is Rick Astley. Who was Rick Springfield?
He also sang a song.
Just one?
Yeah, a song.
But in that game, closer toward the end game, you can shoot Hitler. Really? That's a final mission thing. And I saw a GIF on the internet the other day. As somebody, because it does this thing whenever the bullet comes in, it does the slow-mo, and it'll show it going through their body. It's if you do through the chest, you show it hitting their heart, and the heart will show the splashback of basically exploding from the impact.
Yeah.
And they showed it going into his leg, and he only had the one testicle, and it went past the testicle and exploded it whenever it went through his legs. No, it does a X-ray vision kind of thing whenever it goes through it. It shows the inside of whatever organ it's hitting and stuff. And they actually went so deep into the lore that it was just we're just gonna give him the one testicle and we're not gonna put the other one in there.
That's funny.
Rick Springfield songs.
Jesse's
girl.
Yeah, he looks like that.
He looks like he has just. Oh, why is it showing the Destiny background again?
It's our Destiny.
Oh well, just for whatever reason, it's not doing what I want it to.
If you want to know what Rick Springfield looks like,
just type it into Google, and then it's the first image. It's got his book, Magnificent Vibration. Not a sponsor of this podcast.
I've got a magnificent vibration for him.
Do you?
I don't know.
Where is it at?
In my pants.
Oh God, I would have never got.
What about?
Do you think that Rick Springfield would be into peeing on my nuts? By the looks of that goatee, I'm saying yes.
He might tweeter us.
He tweeter?
He'll tweeter us and just be like,
he's going tweeter on us, Paul.
Hey, hey, at Shadows.
Shadows.
That's my thing there.
Shadows.
It's a real fucked up way of spelling shadows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but have you heard about this album called Disney Metal?
Disney Metal?
Disney Metal.
No.
It's a metal album of Disney songs. It's called Disney Metal.
Sounds intriguing.
I listened to it once and I gave up on it, but I just thought it'd be worth it.
Is it actual metal people that cover stuff?
I don't know. But there's the cover.
Metal Disney?
And yeah, Metal Disney. D-Metal Stars. But I don't know who's actually in it.
Metal Stars. I don't know if it's... That's the only thing they've put out.
But they do I think it was just put together for this album. I don't really know what to think about it. It's got names that are
attributed to it, but it's not anybody. I don't know who Jeff Watson and
look
Demon
Caca. Google D-Metal Stars.
Demon Caca.
Demon Caca.
Who? D-Metal Stars?
Look it up. Let's see if maybe it's a super group.
You think like Probot?
Yeah, like Probart.
Probart Markrop.
Yeah, like Paul Bart Markup.
Inside Disney's attempt to go metal on new covers compilation.
It was weird.
That's them.
They look like that. And they look like they're the guys from Dio's band after Dio died.
D-Metal is led by Obsession's vocalist Mike Vesera.
Yeah, I don't know these people.
I don't know who Mike Vesera is. Who is Obsession? Have you ever heard of that?
No. So I don't know where this even...
Oh, and the drummer from the same band who played with Dokken. I know who Dokken is.
Do you?
Yeah, that was like a
The bassist
80s band.
From Ozzy Osbourne.
Huh.
Rudy Sarzo.
Previously worked with Yngwie Malmsteen. I know that name too.
You do?
Uh-huh.
It's not good. That's all I gotta say. I mean, I didn't really listen to it.
I can't really play it. I'm going to turn down the volume on this so we can hear it, and maybe a little bit will bleed through, because if I put this as a video up,
sure,
they would pull it. Oh.
Yeah, that's what it's like.
It's like Dio sang it.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's metal, but it's like almost, Dio is metal, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you call, I mean...
But I wouldn't say it's hair metal, because, I mean, hair metal has its own people.
It's like sexy. Hair metal's sexy. Dio metal is...
I don't know why the screen's not reading through like it should. It was doing it perfectly fine before. Oh, well.
So that was bad news. I mean, that was just a thing.
That was bad news?
I mean, that was just gross, but I just thought I'd bring it up. But since we're talking about music, I have an obsession with this, I don't know what you call this type of music, but it's like 80s inspired, 80s pop inspired music, like that Dream Car band that I was telling you about, with the Havoc and the No Doubt Dudes.
Yeah.
And like Paramore's new album just dropped, and it's kind of got that same feel. St. Lucia has that same feel.
I wanna love somebody.
Love it.
Oh my God. Yeah. There's
great.
a lot of that going on. I mean, that's kind of like Thundercat is that way.
What's Thundercat?
That guy I had you listen to.
Oh, yeah!
He's this like the...
He's got that, he's in the
soulsy,
water.
Yeah, the soulsy R&B almost type stuff, but it's very like 80s, 70s retro, but it just came out this year.
What do you call it? What is that genre? Do you call it 80s pop? But if you look up 80s pop, like Paula Abdul's gonna fucking pop up. So,
yeah.
Is it like new wave 80s pop? Neo?
I would assume it has its own kind of subgenre. Let's see, like, I don't understand. Maybe just Google, like, what genre is St. Lucia?
Yeah. I'm down with that.
What genre is St. Lucia government? St. Lucia musician.
He's South African.
I believe it.
Based in Brooklyn. That doesn't make any sense. I mean, I guess you can be doing that.
Does it have an indie electronic synth pop?
I like synth pop.
That makes sense, I guess.
That makes synth.
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
Jean-Philippe Grobler.
I like him.
So what was not Thundercat, but what's another one that I could search for? That would be
go by Dream Car.
Dream Car.
Yeah, Paramore changes their version too much. New wave,
alt rock. It's new wave technically. Yeah. Let's see. It's a genre of rock music.
Synth-pop is a subgenre of new wave.
New wave would be late 70s to mid 80s, ties to 1970s punk. Huh. Smooth blues rock sounds created pop music by incorporating electronic and experimental music.
So new wave's been around for a long time.
So we'll probably say synth pop, new wave. It's probably just, it has to be like, those are probably just the same kind of...
I like that one right there that says new pop. And we're just like, this is new pop music.
New pop. UK-based pop movement.
Huh.
What is that? Oh, includes acts like the Human League.
And ABC. Easiest 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. And then synth pop. Is just synthesizer pop. This all kind of, it's just electro pop music, technically. But I mean, whenever you look at St. Lucia, they have such indie influences type thing. That's why you would get like indie pop kind of a thing. I gotcha. Popping up. Pop.
Yeah, I like it though. That's the end of that review.
Good. It's a good review.
It's just my thing. Like, now I know what I can say. I can be like, what kind of music are you into? I'm like, synth pop.
Do you have any
new wave?
Do you have any movies that you've gone to see recently or anything like that?
Movies, no, but I want to go see Guardians of the Galaxy
I
too.
do too. I've heard really good things.
And I've got a wish list. I did watch.
You have a wish list?
No.
Of movies to go see in the theaters?
It's short. It's called Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I watched. Did you ever watch 30 Days of Night, Dark Days, the second one?
No.
I watched it on that Comic-Con HQ. It was on there. They're not a sponsor, I promise.
It's not.
But, so
If we
Comic-Con
were sponsored by
HQ
Comic-Con, I wouldn't be in this nice wood panel room.
Love wood panel.
Yeah. Who doesn't?
So
Rich Mahogany, Star Wars,
but you never
Doctor
watched.
Who.
You never watched the Dark Days.
No.
You watched the first one though.
No, I read the first 4 trades of the actual like whole comic series.
Yeah.
So I've read quite a bit of the comics. I know what comes next.
Okay.
I've never seen anything like the whole first trade covers basically the first movie.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
how the whole
and
ending
Dark
kind of
Days
ends
is
with it,
actually
so.
the name of the second trade
Yeah.
as well. So and it
So,
follows it pretty tight.
Okay.
Um,
Was it a good movie?
That's a B movie.
Does it have the same chick or any of the
No.
same actors at all? No.
No, not at all. No, because I really like that chick that's in there. I can't remember her name, but
I like Josh Hartnett did a really good job in that too.
Melissa something.
McCarthy.
No.
Was it in her?
No.
What?
No, she had those little freckles and blonde hair.
Can you imagine 30 Days of Night with Melissa McCarthy and Josh Hartnett instead?
I think you're going to say Josh Groban.
Melissa McCarthy and Josh Groban.
That's a pretty couple, though. And because Josh Hartnett, I like him. He's good people.
30 Days Faux Night.
and Melissa George. That's what it is.
Okay.
She's good, too.
I couldn't think of what.
She's pretty. And Josh Hartnett's pretty.
What else was she in?
She's in things.
Oh, she was
in the new Amityville
with Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds, yeah. Deadpool. Speaking of Deadpool, did you see where...
she was in Deadpool?
No, she wasn't in Deadpool.
Why did you say... Oh, Deadpool, because of Ryan Reynolds. I was just like, what is she in Deadpool?
Did you see where they're giving Glover the fucking Deadpool animated series?
Mm-hmm.
That'd be sweet.
I'm excited for anything that he's attached to at this point.
Yeah. I was talking about him the other day because I was like,
Oh, I forgot that fucking Ben Foster was in that.
Ben Foster was
the
good
stranger.
people.
He's such a good fucking actor.
He gave himself the stranger.
Yeah.
As the stranger.
Like he got weird, gross teeth when he's in jail cell. And then Danny Huston is the main vampire.
He was good. That's the only person, like, I only know him from that movie, and then every once in a while I see him and be like, that goes from
he's in American Horror Story. He's the jazz guy.
Yeah. But when I see him there, I go, that guy was from 30 Days of Night.
Yeah. The Axeman. Yeah.
Yes.
I forgot what his other. And then he was in the Massimo da Sofia. He's the person that makes the leg for her in season 4 or whatever.
Yes.
The wooden leg or whatever, yeah.
So
it's a whole big thing.
Tell me something.
Did you know that tigers can jump 20 feet in the air straight up?
Donald Glover.
It's not a true fact.
Black. He is black.
In Atlanta.
He's awesome.
He is amazing.
But so, do people know who Donald Glover is? Like, you and I know who Donald Glover is, but do people as a whole know who Donald Glover is? If I ask my mom, does she know who Donald Glover is? Does your mom know who Donald Glover is?
No, because, I mean, it's Donald Glover. I don't think people might know him from
Troy and Abed in the morning.
Will definitely probably recognize him from Community. They would probably recognize him from his old YouTube troupe because those shorts that he was on.
I didn't know that he had a YouTube troupe.
That's how he started. It was because he started back in YouTube.
Back in YouTube.
Back in YouTube. We both did this. Back in YouTube. No, he started back on YouTube with a troupe. And a lot of those people from that troupe have all become like comedy writers and just do small bits and stuff here and there. I think some of them were some of the founding members of the Whitest Kids You Know as well.
Okay.
That were on his.
I know that show, but I've never watched it.
They just sketch comedy stuff.
Okay.
Which is exactly what the troupe. I think the YouTube page is literally just called Derek Comedy, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
But he was like the main character actor in all of those. But he got his start there in comedy. He started writing the mixtapes shortly thereafter because he was doing mixtapes whenever he started Community. But he just, as Childish Gambino, wasn't really well known then. Sure. It wasn't until Community was coming to the point where it was on its last legs that he released Camp. And then he released Because of the Internet after it was finished. And then now it's on Atlanta. I think Atlanta is popular enough that a lot of people might recognize Donald Glover from there.
Okay.
But yeah. I mean, whether it's Donald Glover or Childish Gambino, I think both of those names are, especially with people our age or younger, millennials, should recognize the name Donald Glover or Childish Gambino. I don't think people older than us, even Jay probably doesn't. He knows of Childish Gambino because he likes to listen to a lot of different kinds of music, but he doesn't necessarily know who Donald Glover is as far as acting goes. Yeah. I think he's seen maybe some of Community, but not a lot of it.
I gotcha. Because that dude's going to be heading up Deadpool.
He gonna head up Deadpool.
And then he's going to be Lando Calrissian in the fucking new Star Wars movie. And he's in the new Spider-Man movie. In an unnamed name. I mean, I don't know what he's going to be. Well, it does the voice of Miles Morales in the cartoon, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so like...
In the newer cartoons, he's Miles.
Dude's all over.
So I don't know if...
He's going to be household name.
But see, this is the whole thing. Like, if they try to introduce him as Miles in Spider-Man, it wouldn't. Because especially with Tom Holland being like young Spider-Man, like still in high school Spider-Man, it doesn't make sense. Because Miles doesn't come in until Spider-Man's older and stuff anyways. That's like the whole point.
Miles is...
Miles...
the older. He was the first Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Peter Parker's
like
second.
Maybe I was gonna say, he is supposed to be Peter Parker technically. I was gonna say, I was like, what if this is like Tom Holland's Spider-Man isn't even Peter Parker and he's like somebody different? Yeah, like it was like Peter Parker. There's the Spider-Man.
Yeah,
and then now you have like he's just like, I was Spider-Man once.
He's like my name's Jeff Bridges.
Is there a
Spider-Man? Jeff Bridges.
It doesn't have to follow that because I mean that it wouldn't matter necessarily. Yeah. But is there a predominantly black Spider-Man villain that you could think of? That's what I'm saying. Like it didn't necessarily matter. I mean, you could make Green Goblin black if you wanted to.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the same thing with like Electro or any of them. But I didn't know if there was one that he could play.
Was Electro black originally?
No.
When Jamie Foxx did it, that was. I don't know. I'm not a.
I don't think he was initially. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure he's not.
Spider-Man's probably pretty whitewashed originally.
That's what I was saying. But I mean, like I don't know that they would do Electro again that recent. You know what I mean?
No, I wouldn't.
But at the same time, I don't know who else he would play.
I think he'd be like he's like the head scientist who like runs the lab that Peter Parker gets. Are they doing a fucking origin story? You think?
With this?
Yeah. Are they like, hey, if you
I think it's
Uncle Ben died,
it's established that he already
got bit by a spider.
I think it's already established in Homecoming that he has the powers and everything already anyways.
So they're not
because
hit all
that's why Tony Stark is there because they've already met before in Captain America.
Already happened.
So that's already happened. That he's been established as a character that he knows and everything, and I think that's the direction they're trying to take it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the way that's going.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was it? Did you know they're making a Boondock Saints TV show?
No, with the people?
I don't know. David De La Rocco was doing the commercial for it. They're doing some crazy like spend $800 on this toy chest and you get to like get the pilot early or something. But it's something real weird. I don't get it. But I don't know if anybody's connected to it except for David De La Rocco and Troy Duffy. Like, but those two guys were friends originally.
Boondock Saints Origins is the tentative name.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like how everything starts.
Yes.
They have actor David De La Rocco, who plays Rocco. He's supposed to be in there. The original film, it doesn't say if they're tied back in.
They're not tied to it as far as last I had heard. The VIP Ultimate Experience. Click on that little link.
That?
The boondocksback.com. And the price on it's ridiculous. Like,
so
I
with
don't
it
even know
being
who's
an
gonna
origin
pay it.
story, are they gonna like try to say that they're like there's gonna be
I don't know if they're
more like they don't even like they exist, but they're not even gonna show them yet because there's other people like part of the.
I don't know. Are they gonna like show? Is the Duke gonna be like? Is their dad gonna be like hanging around? Go to that collector's box set thing. Look at that. You get this nice box for $7.97.77.
And it's not working right still. I wish it was. That way I could show it off.
Can't you see it? It's over there.
It is. I can see it, but I want them to see it.
$7.97.77 is the price point on that shit.
$5.97.77.
Oh, that's the limited for the first, and then
for the pre-order.
But retail, it's gonna is $7.97.77.
So what do you get? Does it say even?
You get.
Is it just the stuff that they're showing outside of the box?
Shot glasses.
2 shot glasses, a flask. It looks like a bandana that has the logo and everything on it.
Looks like maybe some whiskey glasses in the back.
Yeah, whiskey glasses in the back. It looks
Probably
like just like a sticker of some kind, and maybe like a cloth poster of some kind.
Maybe where you click box merch details.
Okay, there we go. Limited edition collector's box, which is numbered, so not very. DVD and USB flash drive, a digital download of the full season. So you get the entire season.
Not just a pilot episode.
Commemorative production booklet, so you get a whole production. It's for TBS, I guess, because it says TBS. Signature pennies, baseball hat, sticker set.
Something. Like, is it like TBS TV show, or is it like to be...
I thought maybe that would...
Determined.
Well, that would be TBD.
But like, kind of like that.
Doesn't say on here. You would think... They even got the artwork already ready for the seasons.
Damn!
Well, there's the hat and everything, too. It doesn't even say anywhere on here, and you would assume that it would probably say somewhere. There's the pennies.
That's cool.
Covered in blood.
I don't think I'd want them, but...
You can buy all the stuff that's in the box, apparently, individually. 2 pennies that are from the show are
$30.
$27.97. That's pretty ridiculous.
I don't know if
I'm trying to scroll down. Keep
yet.
scrolling down because I wanted to see the network. It says it's coming in 30-something days. They had to.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're probably...
So are they doing it into...
38 days, 4 hours, 25 minutes, 30 seconds until the season starts.
So what I'm thinking is, I don't think it's on a network. I think that they're releasing it
just as
independent. Yeah. Like that, what was it, Horace and Pete, that new show that...
So they just expect people to be like, pre-order season 1, buy season 1, and we're just going to sell it as like a box set or as just the season by itself.
That's what...
It's like having it on Netflix, but it's not on Netflix. You can watch the whole season just because they're going to release it straight to DVD.
Mm-hmm. What was that called? Who's that guy? Louis C.K. had that Horace and Pete show, and he sold it just like on his website, and I didn't even know about it until I saw it. I haven't seen it, but now it's on Hulu. So they might do that same thing with that, is that it'll end up eventually on like a streaming
some kind of a streaming service. Yeah.
That's what I'm wondering.
That's cool.
They're gonna bypass all that shit.
I also did see that, which it might not be something that you really know or overly interested in, but just as far as news goes, that I saw, just as kind of like a last minute news to throw in, the Witcher series that was a book series back in the 90s, and it's a popular game franchise now, especially the past 2 Witchers. All of them have been really popular, but 3 was on all consoles and it was on PC. Really, really, really well received. It won over like 200 gaming awards and stuff. It was huge.
I've seen the name, but I don't know what
it's getting a full Netflix series now. They've already like cleared it, greenlit it. They're starting like casting now and everything too. So I'm kind of excited for that. I don't know absolutely everything about those games because I only played 2 on PC and I played 3 through on PC as well, and they're awesome. But like I said, I don't know like the whole origin story thing behind it. Well, is there anything else that you want to say to the people before we depart ways? Depart ways?
I've got to pee.
Okay.
And we made it through this without me having coffee, so that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I hope you guys
didn't have to be
enjoyed.
You didn't have to pee throughout any of it.
Which is weird for me because usually, well, I mean, we make it through practice without me peeing all the time, which is cool. I usually take a 1 pee break. is important. Peeing's good for you. It's good for your
it's good
urethra,
for
Franklin.
It's good for the soul.
Yeah. That's it.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for listening and watching, and we hope you enjoyed. If you do like the video or the audio version, please leave us a follow, leave us a like, subscribe to whichever channel this goes up on. I'm assuming I'll put it on my own personal channel for youtube.com/RandomHeroXIX, but I will also be putting it on the official As For The Rest of Us channel, which is just is it
youtube.com/As For The Rest of Us.
Is it As For The Rest of Us, or is it the AF?
Find it out.
I'll find it real quick.
That way I can tell the viewers at home where they already found it. They're like, you might be able to find it at As For The Rest of Us.
Yeah, I mean, if you just look real hard.
Or you may already be there.
Yeah, it's As For The Rest of Us. So youtube.com/As For The Rest of Us, all spelled out, one word.
How do you know?
This is the URL. It'll show it, whatever it's listed.
Where?
It has it listed.
That's channel/UC now.
Well, yeah, but it has a name.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
I'm going to just type it out now. We're going to keep all this shit in. Mm-hmm. You guys are just going to sit here and listen to us. Rest of us. It's not found.
It's not at youtube.com/As For The Rest of Us.
Does it have a URL yet?
I don't. How do you
Maybe
do
we
that?
didn't adjust this. Anyway,
check it out.
For the time
you're there already.
For the time being, I'll put it on my personal channel, and then my personal channel does have. I'll put links below it to the As For The Rest of Us channel, so that way you can check out our music there as well. As other update videos and stuff come through too. If we keep the podcast thing going on my personal channel and on the As For The Rest of Us channel, I'll upload just kind of like news updates too, just to kind of throw something to have content apart from just something once a week, to have something that's just like a couple times a week, just to have some more content and things. And if you guys like it, just leave us a comment if there's anything that you want to talk to us about, or anything that if you have a question or something, we can start answering kind of community questions and things as they come unfolded. And as you can see on both sides here, these are our Twitter handles. You can ask us questions and stuff there as well. And thank you for tuning in. You guys have yourself a ding-dangy of an evening.
Bye.
Bye.